Why is my phone always dying? I'm one of those people where my laptop's dying, my phone's dying, my car has no gas in it. Like, it's a disaster. Every single day I'm like losing my charger. Like, I'm at like 2%, 3%. Anyways, hey guys, what's up? Today we're taking a stroll down memory lane. I also don't know if I look good today. I don't know. Anyways, yes, we are taking a stroll down memory lane. We're gonna talk about a lot of skincare trends or skincare products that we once used in the past, but they're better left in the past. And we're gonna talk about why. I feel like in skincare and just beauty in general, you really need to be open-minded about things. Just because you knew something in the past doesn't mean that it applies now in the future. We learn and we grow, and there's always new technologies and new skincare products and new ingredients on the market. There's just always so much progression and new things that are backed by science. We just need to respectfully leave things in the past, learn and move forward. So let's break down some of those things. We can call this like our skincare regrets. So I kind of made a video about this over on TikTok, and that's what really sparked the interest in this video idea, is because I posted something about pore strips. That's gonna be the first thing that we talk about. Pore strips suck, point blank period. And some people over on TikTok really didn't understand why they suck so bad, so let's break it down. Pore strips is something that we all used and we all loved, don't front. We honestly thought they were really effective because after that pore strip dries down and it really grabs hold to all those blackheads, which we'll talk about in a moment, it literally rips them out, and then all of a sudden you had clear, beautiful pores. But there's a reason why nobody recommends them anymore. So first of all, we think that they're pulling out our blackheads. That's not true. Well, it sometimes could be true, but more times than not, it's not true. I feel like blackheads, although they're really common, they're not as common as we think. I mean, everybody thinks to themselves that they have like hundreds of blackheads on their nose, and it's not like that common. What we refer to when we talk about our blackheads, like on our nose, they're actually not blackheads. What they're called is sebaceous filaments, and we all have them. We have them all over. They're just more present on our nose. So a sebaceous filament is actually just sebum that fills the pore. Sometimes it could be excess amounts of sebum that are in there, which honestly just makes your pore look bigger. And so what we're looking at like in the mirror when we're trying to pick out all of those like blackheads, they're actually just sebaceous filaments, and it's just excess sebum that's just chilling in the pore. The problem is that with these pore strips, you're yanking out that sebaceous filament, but it's gonna fill right back up with sebum. It's not like a true blackhead or congestion like a pimple or anything like that where you're gonna get it out and it kind of stays away for the most part. Pulling out a sebaceous filament, it's literally just gonna fill right back up with sebum. So you will forever be buying these pore strips and just like ripping them out. They're gonna fill back up, you're gonna rip them out again. It's an ongoing process. So it doesn't work. It's honestly not that great. On top of that, you're really stripping the skin of all of its essential oils. I mean, that thing like rips your skin. It strips the skin, you're ripping out those filaments that don't need to be ripped out, and honestly, you're just being overly harsh with your skin. When you pull that strip off, it's really yanking at your skin. It's just not a great thing. And there's honestly just like better options out there. The traditional pore strip just like dries on your nose and then you yank them out, but there's other options out there. There's the Peace Out pore strips and the Hero Cosmetics surface patch, I believe it's called. And they really just act like pore strips, but they just kind of sit on the skin and suck and like absorb any excess sebum that's on the skin versus pulling out those sebaceous filaments, which again will just fill right back up. I've used some of those, and if you're really interested in strips, I would really say gear towards those. But let's just talk about some ingredients that just will work so much better. Salicylic acid and niacinamide. Two ingredients that you've seen here on this channel multiple times, and that's for a reason. Salicylic acid, and I know I've said this like a million times, it's an oil-soluble exfoliant that's gonna get deep into your pores and like clean out all that gunk. That's like the simplest way I can put it. It travels in and it really like kills all that stuff. So that's key, and I really like a salicylic acid cleanser, and I just focus it like right on that area, and that just really helps to like loosen all that up. And that's gonna be a more gentle form of salicylic acid that you can incorporate into your routine more frequently, so it kind of keeps those away. Niacinamide is also a sebum regulating ingredient, and it's gonna regulate that sebum production in your skin. Over time, that salicylic acid and that niacinamide, it's gonna decrease the appearance of your pores. Your pores can never change in size, but because they're not gonna be all filled with all that gunk, they're gonna appear smaller. So niacinamide and salicylic acid, that's the way to go. No pore strips. Ever. Let's talk about walnut scrubs. Ugh, pretty much just a lot of physical exfoliants out there. Walnut scrubs, apricot scrubs, coffee scrubs, they all suck. Now I'm gonna give you a little hint. There's a couple physical exfoliants out there that I'm gonna talk about in a future video. I actually like some physical exfoliants that I've tried recently, but we're gonna break that down in another video. The exfoliants I'm talking about right now are just those like broken up like coffee, broken up nuts, anything that can have like these sharp sharp things that really exfoliate your skin. I mean, those pieces, they can be extremely sharp, which is why we don't ever recommend them anymore. They're not gonna be a consistent like shape once they're broken down. I mean, think about it. You're literally just crushing up a walnut or crushing up an apricot and putting it in a bottle and saying, here, rub your face with it. Go ahead, rub it on your skin. I mean, like what? They're so sharp, they're so aggressive. We don't necessarily need physical exfoliants right now because we have so many good chemical exfoliants on the market. Enzymes, BHA, AHA, PHA. I mean, you can find one that really works for you. We don't really need physical exfoliants. Now there's some better options. Like I said, we're gonna get into that in a little bit more in a future video, but just as like an example, a sugar scrub, although that can still be a little bit harsh on the skin, sugar does dissolve with water, so it's gonna be less damaging. I still recommend chemical exfoliants though. They're gonna be better, more effective, more gentle on the skin, but sometimes still intense, like still really, really harsh and will really get down and work for you. Physical exfoliants will just kind of destroy that top layer of your skin and can really damage your skin barrier. They're just not that great. Pore vacuums, oh my God. Pore vacuums, there's just a lot of things out there right now that you should keep to the like estheticians and dermatologists. There's the pore vacuums, there's those skincare tools where you just kind of like push on your pore like, and then you see that filament like, there's like the needles. Oh, it's just horrible. A lot of skincare tools, you leave them for the dermatologists and the estheticians. They know what they're doing with those tools. We do not. We're acting like we're our own surgeons at home in our bathrooms. Like literally like tools, like put some gloves on, put a coat, put these glasses on, and then we're surgeons all of a sudden. Like what? These tools are just so aggressive on your skin and you don't need them. The pore vacuums, you put it on your skin and you're really trying to suck out that filament again. You're just sucking out the filament. You're not sucking out a blackhead. You're not sucking out any like gunk from a pimple. Again, it's just that filament that's gonna fill right back up. Because of how strong they are too, they can really damage the skin and break some capillaries in your skin. I mean, they can be really damaging. All those tools can be really damaging, even like derma rolling. Can we just all agree to like leave the needles for the professionals? Salicylic acid, I'm gonna keep saying it. Salicylic acid's the way to go to get rid of all that gunk, not pore vacuums, not pore strips, not those tools. Get rid of it. Peel off masks. No. How many of those horrible videos have we all seen where people put the peel off mask on and they're like, they're ripping it off of their skin so aggressively. Like that is so damaging to your skin. It also gets on your facial hair, like your eyebrows, your beard. People will have no eyebrows by the time they're done with those peel off masks. They're also just not that great. I mean, they're doing the same thing as a nose strip, just kind of all over. They're really trying to strip away those filaments that are in your skin. I mean, you can't find me a peel off mask that really is like even that great for the skin, like any ingredients added in there, they're just not that great. I've seen like charcoal peel off masks, like what? Charcoal is very gimmicky, I think. I don't think it's really that great of an ingredient. I mean, there's just not a lot of benefits to these peel off masks and they just cause damage to the skin. Similar to the way that nose strips work, it's gonna be really stripping for the skin because you're just yanking at that top layer of your skin and it's gonna strip away from any essential oils that are on that top layer of your skin, which you need to have a healthy skin barrier. You're gonna see a lot of issues with these products that just yank at the skin, damage that skin barrier, and really strip away any essential oils. It's really gonna cause some problems down the road. Here's one that I think we can all be guilty of, using facial sprays at the end of your routine. Why did we do that? Personally, I think we all did it because of all like the Harper Bazaar Go to Bed With Me series. Like we see these celebrities and we see these people just using facial sprays at the end of their routine and we just kind of like followed along with that, when in reality it doesn't necessarily make sense. So to put it simply, facial sprays are primarily hydration and most of the times they are toners or essences, which we all know goes after cleansing, prior to any serums and definitely prior to any moisturizers. That hydration gets on the skin and then we lock it in with those inclusive ingredients that we find in moisturizers and in oils and even sunscreens. If we're applying hydration on at the end of our routine, we're not locking it in with anything. It's just kind of strange. It definitely feels refreshing on the skin. I mean, we all did it. We definitely did it with those Mario Badescu facial sprays, which is literally just fragrance in a bottle. I used to love those things. I remember I used to be a catering server back in Philadelphia when I was going to grad school. And I remember I always used to bring a facial spray with me, primarily those Mario Badescu ones. And I did it just because I wanted a refreshing spray once I got to my destination, because a lot of times I was like walking to the subway, took the subway downtown, I was walking all over the place, like it was exhausting. And by the time I got to work, I really wanted something refreshing to spray on my skin. I used to bring the Mario Badescu ones with me because they always have a little travel size at Ulta. I used to get to work and I used to see all my friends like standing around. And I remember walking up with my Mario Badescu facial spray and being like, who wants some? I literally was spraying this stuff onto literally everybody that was there. And now that I'm more knowledgeable as to what the heck I I was spraying on their faces, I feel so bad. Aside from those specific products just being kind of sucky, again, it's just hydration that we were spraying on the skin and not locking it in with anything. So it just really didn't do anything. If we sprayed those facial sprays prior to our moisturizer, then we would have benefited from that hydration, but spraying it on at the end and not locking it in with anything, it just does nothing for us. So really we're just kind of wasting money and wasting product. Refreshing, but useless. Let's talk about DIY skincare, specifically lemons and baking soda, all of those good cooking ingredients that for some reason we decided to start putting it on our face. Now I know there's a lot of cultures that use like food or oils on their skin and their hair. I think that's a little different than just me seeing something on Pinterest and being like, oh, let me go do that. And then all of a sudden I'm in my kitchen cooking up this thing, putting it on my face to try and treat my acne and all that stuff. That's different than taking something from like tradition or taking something from culture. It's different. So if you're using anything and it's working for you, I would say just go ahead and do it, especially if it has some cultural significance to it. But most of the time, however, we're just seeing people looking up things on Pinterest or on YouTube, running to their kitchen, making these concoctions and trying to treat their acne with it. So that's what we're speaking about specifically. With that being said, I know a lot of people that really try DIY skincare, and there can be some problems with that, especially with certain things that you're using. It can just cause some problems because like each lemon, it's not made the same. One lemon can be way more acidic than the next one. I'm not using it in a controlled environment necessarily. If you have lemon as an ingredient in a skincare formulation, the acidic nature, any properties that comes along with lemons, all that is taken into consideration. It's just in a controlled environment when taking those ingredients and using them in a skincare formulation versus me just using it and mixing it together in my kitchen. It's just not a controlled environment. It can just be too damaging for the skin. That can be said for baking soda, that can be said for lemons, that can be said for pretty much anything that you use in your kitchen. There's certain things like honey masks and turmeric masks that I know aren't really going to be damaging necessarily. Honey, for example, is really great for the skin. It's actually a humectant that's going to draw moisture into the skin. However, that's when it's formulated in a product. You're not necessarily going to get the same benefits when you just go grab it out of your kitchen and just apply it onto your skin. Avocado masks were in, oatmeal masks were in. You're just not going to get a lot of benefits from this DIY skincare. And again, it's going to be a little damaging to the skin if you're just mixing it all together and you don't have a controlled environment, which most of us don't. So I always say stray away from DIY skincare and just go buy your products from the local drugstore or Ulta or Sephora if you're bougie like me. So those are some things that I suggest we leave in the skincare past. Let's leave it in the skincare cemetery, shall we? There are so many things that we've just done to our skin that I hope we all can say that we've grown and we've learned from those mistakes and we're bettering ourselves and our skin for it. I'm gonna keep this video pretty short just because I'm sweating to death. It is hot, I need a nap, and I need to go watch Gossip Girl. Drop any skincare mistakes or sins that you've done in the past down below. I know for me, we got a lot in my closet. We got coconut oil, pore strips, peel off masks, DIY skincare. We got it all. I have a dark past. I'm not even gonna leave any products listed down below. You can go find those Mario Badescu sprays if you want to, but I'm just not gonna list them. What will be listed down below is my socials. Make sure to go follow me there. And before you go, make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. We would love to see you join, and we upload videos here every Tuesdays and Saturdays, so I would love to see you join. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.